Did you know Mars is named after the Roman god of war, but it's more of a couch potato planet? It has the same landmass as Earth, but it's just not into the whole water and life thing. Weird, right? Mars, our celestial neighbor, is a world of extremes. It's about half the diameter of Earth, but don't be fooled, it's no lightweight. With landmass equivalent to our home planet, it's a formidable globe of geological wonders. Mars was named after the Roman god of war, probably because its reddish hue reminded the ancients of the color of blood. But don't let that intimidate you. Mars is more like that friend who owns a gym membership but never goes. It has all the right conditions for water and life, but it just can't seem to get off the couch and make it happen. So if you are thinking of moving, pack lots of water and don't forget your spacesuit. You think your workday is long? A day on Mars or a Sol is 24.6 hours. Imagine what you could do with that extra half hour. Probably just more work. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate this little fact about our neighboring red planet. A Martian day, known as a Sol, is about 40 minutes longer than an Earth day. That's just enough time to squeeze in an extra episode of your favorite show, or perhaps to finally start that novel you've been planning to write. Or let's be real, to simply hit the snooze button a few more times. But it's not all sunshine and roses, or rather alien sunsets and Martian roses. Because Mars is further from the sun than Earth, the amount of sunlight that reaches the Martian surface varies dramatically throughout the day. So, while you might get to enjoy those extra 40 minutes, some of that time might be in the dim, cold Martian twilight. And speaking of cold, let's not forget that Mars isn't exactly a tropical paradise. Even on a warm Martian day, temperatures rarely get above freezing. So, imagine trying to enjoy your extra half hour of leisure time while bundled up in an astronaut suit, shivering in the cold. But hey, it's not all bad news. The longer Martian day has some advantages too. For one, it means that Mars rotates more slowly than Earth, which could potentially make for less severe weather patterns. So while you might have to deal with the cold, at least you wouldn't have to worry about any surprise Martian tornadoes. In terms of sleep, your body would need to adjust to the longer day. You might find yourself feeling a bit jet-lagged for a while, but eventually your internal clock would get in sync with the Martian Sol. Who knows, maybe you're a Martian at heart and you just don't know it yet. So on Mars you'll have a bit more time to procrastinate on your chores. Score. Forget about snow days, Mars is more into dust storms, some of which cover the entire planet. Talk about needing a giant broom. Now we're not talking about a light dusting here. No, Mars likes to go big or go home when it comes to its weather. We're talking about dust storms so massive that they can engulf the entire planet. These aren't your average dust bunnies, folks. They're more like dust behemoths. You see, Mars is incredibly dry and its thin atmosphere is mostly made up of carbon dioxide, with trace amounts of other gases. This means that the red planet doesn't have a lot of weather variation. But when it does decide to kick up a storm, it really goes all out, whipping up dust and debris into towering clouds that can last for weeks or even months. The dust on Mars isn't like the dust you find under your bed either. It's made up of tiny fragments of volcanic rock. And it's so fine it's more like talcum powder than sand. When the wind gets going, this dust gets lifted into the air, creating a haze that can block out the sun and plunge the planet into a sort of twilight. And these storms are not an occasional occurrence, oh no. They're a frequent feature of the Martian landscape, especially during the planet's southern hemisphere's summer, when Mars is closest to the sun. The increased sunlight warms the atmosphere, causing the air to rise and carry dust with it. So, next time you're complaining about a little bit of rain or wind, just remember it could be worse. You could be dealing with a planet-wide dust storm that lasts for months. The weather on Mars isn't just fascinating, it's a key part of what makes the planet so unique and intriguing. It's a reminder that even though Mars might look a little bit like Earth from a distance, up close and personal, it's a whole different beast. So if you're planning a picnic on Mars, you might want to rethink that. Scene script. Ever wanted to lose weight instantly? On Mars, you'll weigh 62.5% less than on Earth. It's not magic, it's just gravity. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of this ultimate weight loss program. You see, the planet Mars has only about 38% of the surface gravity that you would experience here on Earth. That's less than half. So if you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you'd weigh only 38 pounds on Mars. Can you imagine feeling that light? Maybe you would finally nail that perfect backflip you've been dreaming about. Or perhaps you could carry your entire grocery haul in one trip without breaking a sweat. But hold on, it's not all fun and games. This drastic weight loss isn't due to some kind of Martian diet or a miraculous workout routine. It's simply because Mars is smaller and has less mass than our home planet. less mass means less gravity, and less gravity means less weight. Now wouldn't that be a dream come true for many of us? Just hop on a spaceship, take a little interplanetary trip, and voila, you're instantly lighter. But here's the catch. While you'd feel lighter on Mars, you wouldn't actually lose any body mass, so unfortunately your body shape wouldn't change. You'd still have the same amount of fat, muscle, and bone. You would just feel less weighed down due to the weaker gravitational pull. And let's not forget about the other, slightly more concerning aspects of living on Mars. There's the thin atmosphere, the freezing temperatures, and the whole lack of breathable air thing. But hey, at least you'd be lighter, right? So, if you're looking for a new weight loss fad, Mars might be the place for you. Just don't forget your helmet. Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, but they're more like ugly potatoes than moons. No offense, guys. Now before you dismiss these Martian moons as just dull, lumpy rocks in the sky, let's delve a little deeper into their curious case. Phobos and Deimos, named after the Greek gods of fear and terror respectively, are indeed quite different from our own moon. They're irregularly shaped, more akin to asteroids than the spherical moons we're accustomed to. But this isn't a beauty contest, it's a space exploration, and there's a lot to be fascinated about these cosmic potatoes. For starters, Phobos, the larger of the two, is closer to its planet than any other moon in the solar system. It orbits Mars at such a close distance that it completes a full orbit in just 7 hours and 39 minutes. That's quicker than Mars rotates on its axis, meaning Phobos rises in the west and sets in the east, opposite to our lunar norm. Then there's Deimos, the smaller and more distant of the two. It's so tiny and far away that from Mars, it would appear as nothing more than a bright star in the sky. Despite its minuscule size, Deimos has a big role in understanding the history of our solar system. Its resemblance to C-type asteroids, which are thought to be remnants from the solar system's formation, hints at a potentially fascinating origin story. So, why do Mars's moons look more like asteroids than moons? One theory suggests that they are captured asteroids, snatched up by Mars's gravitational pull. Another theory posits that they are remnants of a larger Martian moon that was destroyed. The truth is, we don't know for sure, and that's part of the intrigue. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, Phobos and Deimos may not be the most glamorous moons, but they serve as compelling pieces in the puzzle of our solar system's history. They remind us that beauty is more than skin deep, even in space. So, Mars might not win the best moons contest, but hey, at least it's got a couple of them. So, there you have it, Mars, the red dusty potato-mooned planet with longer days and less gravity. Sounds like a charming place, right? We've journeyed through fascinating facts that make Mars a unique member of our cosmic neighborhood. From its cherry red skies and dust storms that could swallow Earth whole, to its 2 quirky moons that look more like potatoes than celestial bodies. We also discovered that a day on Mars is not your average 24 hours, and if you're looking to shed some pounds, Mars might just be your ultimate weight loss destination. But remember, these are just 50 shades of Mars. There's a whole universe out there teeming with mysteries and wonders that are waiting to be explored. So why stop here? If you enjoyed this tour of Mars, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more out-of-this-world content. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars.